Good afternoon, everyone. This is Troy Richardson, CEO of RCG Richardson Consulting Group, LLC, health and wellness organization, paying specific focus to our veteran community. And as you folks know, I'm all about community. I'm all about organizations. I'm all about families and just people in general. But I am so excited. I have shared some communication in the past week about this partnership. But today, I'm extremely just proud to officially announce this partnership with Mr. Joe Willingham from Masa Mts. Joe, thank you so much for, again, coming into partnership with RCG. We really appreciate that. And we're going to get right into it, Joe. If you could just tell the folks a little bit about yourself and then Masa Mts.
Sure. Well, I've been in the business for about 35 years. I've got 3 children and live in the great state of Missouri. Been blessed to have, have 3 healthy children and 6 healthy grandchildren. But a little bit about Masa. Masa was started in 1974. We really sold to the B2C community, business to consumer, mainly to the people that were traveling to the islands and, to the Caribbean. And about 5 years ago, they decided to start the B2B division. And since then, we've grown that division to about 2.5 million members. So we've really grown, we've really done well, but it's because of partners like you that have grown, helped us grow this organization. So that's just a little bit about Masa. They've been around for a long time. They've got great ratings. We're a membership organization in most states, and in some states we are insurance, but we're filing now in 25 other states to become insurance.
Awesome, Joe. And you said members, about 2.5 million members, and that's going to grow if I have anything to do with it, because when I first learned about this service that Masa offers, it hit home with me because I had experience with several ambulance, not me personally in the ambulance, but family members that had that ambulance ride, and I know the cost associated with it in my circumstance. And then I did have the unfortunate circumstance of riding in a helicopter, being medevac after a car accident. And I do remember that high bill that just took my breath away. But luckily I was able to call on some resources and we took care of that. I didn't have to pay anything for that. Now you guys you're supporting a lot of organizations out there, in particular the one, again, near and dear to my heart. I'm a veteran, so any first responder, firefighters associations, that really resonated with me because I do work with first responders, law enforcement, and if we can do anything to help that community, then I'm all for it. Now, what made you guys, I don't say what made you guys, but how did it feel when you were able to help those firefighters? In particular, I saw the one piece on Jeremy Brown, but that has to make you feel extremely well when this product is being utilized and you get testimonies that it is helping a first responder like Jeremy Brown. What does that do for you guys?
It's unbelievable. It's, we're keeping people out of bankruptcy. These bills are average of $50,000. And to be able to help first responders, I was in law enforcement prior to getting into the insurance business years ago, got hurt, and came into this business because, I couldn't go back. And so I really, it really resonates with me. It's great to be able to help the families, help the member himself, whether it be the firefighter or the police officer or the paramedic, whichever, the nurse. Some states we have hospital associations. Those hospital associations, and one state comes to mind, we have almost 70% participation in hospitals across that state. And I tell people this, I say, if the medical community knows that there is such a cost to taking a helicopter or taking a fixed wing aircraft, I think everybody ought to pay attention to it, don't you?
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're not immune to those costs. You would think that
Not at all.
but they're when it comes to that, they're just like any other citizen in the community. They are going to be charged with just astronomical rates for that service, just like you or I.
It's not just the fixed wing or the rotor wing aircraft that we cover. Those are talked about a lot because they're expensive, right?
Yes.
But then we cover ground ambulance as well. And people have to remember that there's different kinds of ambulances out there. We had a child taken from North Kansas City Hospital to Children's Mercy downtown Kansas City, about 5 miles, but that was a mobile ICU unit. That mobile ICU unit would have cost that family $16,000. And then the ambulance from where they lived to North Kansas City Hospital was another $2,600. So, we not only cover the air, but we also cover the ground. And another benefit that we have is repatriation. So if your people are on vacation in South Florida and get hurt, and they need to come back for the same level of care, they need to get better at home, they want to get home, we do repatriation as well for them and their family members, because our policy covers all the family, no matter how many children you have, up to age 26. And then, there's several other things that we do, like for groups themselves, just by putting in our plan in a self-funded situation, we save the plan money, we save the plan risk, and they can put it in and basically have it in the program for free, and be able to help their employees and either carve that emergent transportation completely out of their plan and use us, or take a less of a risk, say 5,000 for air or 250 for ground ambulance, and let us take care of the rest. So we help there. We save the plan money. It prevents paying for large losses, and CFOs really love that. Keeps plan from having to deal with the government and arbitration, that sort of thing. That's probably going to happen in 2022. It takes emergent transportation completely out of the realm. They don't have to deal with it. They don't have to worry about it. We've got it, and we're there to help them. So, that's just a couple of things that we can do to help employers. In most states, Troy, over 80% of the population is going to be taken by an air or fixed wing ambulance to a trauma 1 or trauma 2 center. There's just not enough of them around. You take the state of Florida, over 80%. You think the state of Florida is big? Well, the city, Naples, as big as Naples, Florida is, doesn't have a trauma 1 or trauma 2 center. They all have to go to Fort Myers or crossed over to Miami. You get up towards the northern part of Florida, there isn't anything. The central part of Florida, there isn't anything until you get to Orlando, right? So in that golden hour they talk about, they're going to be flying by a helicopter. In my old neck of the woods, I was born and raised in Florida. We'd call the ambulance, air ambulance, at least 5 times a week, for different traffic accidents or agricultural accidents, or, just one was a baseball, hit a player in the head. All kinds of different things that they're called for, but it takes that. It just gives people peace of mind, and it helps keep the employee solvent, keeps them from having to face bankruptcy. Because how many people can take $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 out of their pocket and pay it?
Not many.
Yeah, right. And so And then you got the other things that come into the product, the repatriation again, like I said, and then emergent transport, and then urgent interfacility transportation. I'm trying to say, man, I'm losing my mind. Interfacility transportation. So from one hospital to another. And typically that's COVID, we've had a lot of that because it would take the injured or the sick into a hospital. They would have too many COVID patients, or they would have no beds at all. They'd have to stabilize them there, then get them to another facility, right? So that's interfacility transportation. The other thing would be is they're going from a smaller emergency room to a larger level of care. That's transportation as well. So those are the things we do. I'm extremely passionate about it. I hope I'm not, going too far into the weeds, but I think that if people offer, insurance agents offer other products, like critical illness or accident, get $1,200 for transportation in an accident plan typically. Here you're getting up to, 50, 60,000. We've had one case where a gentleman was flown from Dodge City, Kansas.
Been there.
To Denver, crossing state lines, right? Fixed wing cost $100,000.
Wow.
$100,000.
Wow.
That's just nuts. I mean, I believe the prices are out, but there's 300, it's a $36 billion business. There's 300 companies that offer air transportation. There are some memberships sold across the country by these air carriers, but they're like a Band-Aid, because what happens is if that aircraft is down for maintenance, which, as you know, helicopters are notoriously bad for maintenance, or it's on another call, whatever, it's not available, or they need two of them. You happen to get on the wrong one that you don't have the membership with,
yes,
you're going to get that bill.
Yes.
We don't care. We're a payer. We're not a provider. We don't have an ambulance or a helicopter in the U.S. We just pay the bills. That's all we are.
And Joe, let me just, because someone asked me this question, and I didn't want to make an assumption. And you covered the kids up to age under 26, right? Are those kids in the home? Like if they're at college, or what is that?
If it's a great question. And if they're at college and they're still dependent on the family, then yes, we will continue to cover them as long as they're under the health insurance, or they have another health policy themselves. This plan, we are secondary payer, so we have to have health insurance. However, we just came out with a new plan that will come out January 1st. A little more, $5 more expensive for an employer paid, and just a little bit more expensive for a voluntary, but you don't have to have health insurance at all. We take it all. So you will not have to have health insurance at all.
And just for clarity, when you say more, I would just say a little bit more, because these plans are not expensive at all. At all. Starting under $15. I was like, what?
Yeah,
So
I got to admit, when I came to work for the company, I was a little bit surprised myself.
yes. So you're offering the families peace of mind. You're offering the organizations peace of mind, because what CFO, as you said, wants the headache of making sure they're being compliant and just crossing the T's and dotting the I's with this type of activity. There's many more important things that the CFO has to do.
This happened, when in 1978, when Congress deregulated the airline industry. And when they deregulated the airline industry, that brought all charter under the FAA and everything. So these helicopters and fixed wing could charge whatever they want to. They're deregulated. They can charge anything, and they do. And so that's what started it. But right now there's a big gap in health insurance where people don't really understand it. So if I'm taken and I think my medical insurance is going to pay, and I'm taken by air to a hospital, my health insurance is going to pay about 150% of Medicare allowable, which is about $10,000 or $12,000. I've got to make my deductible and that sort of thing. And then they wash their hands of it. Once that $12,000, $15,000 is paid of that $50,000 bill, then the insured is done what? Their balance bill, the remainder of the cost, and they have to pay it. And that's where we come in to make sure get it back to zero.
Yeah, and that is a life-altering moment. Joe, I want to bring it home, and you've pointed out several benefits and why an organization and a family should have this type of coverage. And again, it's so passionate with me, and I cannot wait to get this message out there to more people and more organizations, because every household should have this coverage. It should be like homeowners insurance.
Troy, I'll tell you this.
No household should be without this.
Right. I'll tell you that it's a no-brainer. If you're a police officer and you're carrying a gun, your propensity to getting hurt is high, right? You're chasing people, you're doing everything, you're running over, all kinds of things can happen. You're a firefighter, it's a no-brainer for these guys. You're a paramedic, you're an EMT, you're running 100 miles an hour down the road trying to get to help somebody. It's absolutely pennies on the dollar to spend.
Yes. Well, I was asking you to bring it home, and I wanted you to talk to those organizations, and you just did it. So I appreciate that. We have the same mindset, the same heart, and we just want to help people. And I'm just thankful for Masa Mts and the whole Masa family. And I can't wait to meet everyone. I'm sure someone in that organization is a real good cook. Can't wait for that. But Joe, I appreciate your time. Looking forward to this partnership relationship, and let's go out there and change the world, my brother. Appreciate you. And I just want to point out, you guys, you mentioned the island. So Caribbean and Mexico, if people are traveling there, you are covered, and Canada. So
well, that's not true. On the $14 product, it's US and Canada only. Okay. On the Platinum product, we will cover Mexico, and that's worldwide.
Okay, worldwide. So you have the ability for worldwide coverage, folks. So when you get this video, just contact me, and we will get you the information you need. But again, Joe Willingham, Masa Mts, thank you so much. Have an awesome day. God bless you.
God bless you too. Thank you for having us.
Absolutely.